more than 3 weeks before Election Day, we're going to focus on two key midterm races and talk to the candidates on both sides who will help determine how the United States is run. We're going to start in Arizona, where the battle for the governor's mansion is neck and neck. The contest is underway to lead there. It's one of the most critical states in the nation. Both Democratic Secretary of State Katie Hobbs and the Republican nominee, former television broadcaster and fierce Trump ally Kari Lake, are joining me this morning. The question is, are you undermining faith in elections by saying that the 2020 election was stolen when there's absolutely no evidence to support that?
Dana, in 2018, Stacey Abrams never conceded. She still hasn't. I don't hear CNN calling her an election denier. We have the right, it's protected with our First Amendment, to question our government and to question elections.
No question about that.
We still have the First Amendment.
Yep.
We still have the First Amendment. And when you start seeing the media cancel people for questioning their government, then that's when we have a problem. That is a threat to democracy.
First Amendment. You and I are benefiting from the First Amendment as we speak. So I couldn't agree with you more on that. I want to play for you something that President Trump's own top officials, they're the ones who investigated all of this. Again, these are President Trump's top officials at the Justice Department. And they said under oath that they saw no evidence of substantial fraud in 2020. Take a listen.
I made it clear I did not agree with the idea of saying the election was stolen and putting out this stuff, which I told the president was bullshit.
I said something to the effect of, sir, we've done dozens of investigations, hundreds of interviews. The major allegations are not supported by the evidence developed.
We were in a position to say, our people have already looked at that, and we know that you're getting bad information. That's not correct.
So these are President Trump's own top Justice Department officials. Why not believe them?
I'm looking at what's happening in Maricopa County. And you know what? Let's look at the 2022 election of August 2nd, where 1 hour into Election Day, because of my opponent Katie Hobbs' incompetence, we ran out of ballots 1 hour into Election Day in one of our largest counties, Pinal County. We ran out of only Republican ballots, only Republican ballots.
That didn't happen. That did happen. And
that did happen.
And the county officials apologized. But I want to ask about.
But Dana, an apology doesn't bring somebody's vote back. All I'm saying is we need to restore honesty and integrity and transparency to our elections.
But
that is important. We've got to do it.
Just that. You're right. It doesn't bring votes back, but at least
it doesn't.
That is
Hundreds of people didn't
get
get
it. Transparent. So if leaders like you and President Trump are saying that the election was stolen, aren't you participating, contributing, even causing the idea of people thinking that the election is not safe and secure?
No, we are going to make sure our elections are safe and secure for Democrats, Independents, and Republicans alike. We want to know that our legal vote counted. We want to know the winner on election night. We don't want to be counting for 10 days. And we want everyone to know.
But shouldn't count it? Don't you want your votes to be counted in
campaign trail?
Don't you want your votes to be counted, no matter how long it takes in 2022 in November?
Dana, I've been on the campaign trail for 503 days. I talked to moms and dads who are losing children because of fentanyl poisoning. I talked to retirees who can't afford gas and food. I talked to parents whose children are getting out of high school and can't read. We have serious problems. We have homeless people on our streets.
I totally agree.
And you want to have me on here, Dana. You want to have me on here and talk 2020 election, and you're the one who accuses me of constantly talking about the election. Can we talk about the issues
on the campaign trail? Let's look forward then.
Can we talk about the issues facing Arizonans?
In your election, will you accept?
Can we talk about the issues? I came on here thinking we were going to talk about the issues facing Arizonans right now.
We did.
And you've spent the entirety of this time talking about 2020. I think you're stuck on 2020. I really do. I want to move forward and bring solutions.
I haven't even mentioned it. I only did with you because this is a big thing that you are running on. Let's look ahead.
Dana,
and let's talk about the 2022 election. Will you accept the results of your election, Ms. Lake?
I'm running against a twice convicted racist who cost the state taxpayers $3 million because of her hatred for people of color. She paid a woman of color in her office $30,000 less than men doing the same job. Last week we learned she held a slave auction, a mock slave auction in high school. We saw her running from a black reporter, hiding in the bathroom from him. I'm not going to lose this election because
I'm going to talk to Katie Hobbs. I'm going to talk to Katie Hobbs.
The people of Arizona will never elect a racist like Katie Hobbs. They just won't.
My question is, will you accept the results of your election in November?
I'm going to win the election, and I will accept that result.
If you lose, will you accept that?
I'm going to win the election, and I will accept that result because the people of Arizona will never support and vote for a coward like Katie Hobbs who won't show up on a debate stage. She's single-handedly destroying a 20-year tradition of gubernatorial debates because of her cowardice. So I know already, no momentum behind her. The polls are in our favor, and we're going to win this election. I'm 100% confident of that. We have the ideas, common sense ideas that people want, and we're seeing Democrats pour over and vote for us right now. I've had many people reach out and say they're voting for us. So the Democrat Party is faltering. It's not the party of solutions. It's the party that has caused the problems that we're in right now.
Kari Lake, I really appreciate you coming on with me and answering these questions. And I'm going to go now to your Democratic opponent, Katie Hobbs, to talk to her about some of the things that you and I just talked about.